I did the horse stance every single morning for 30 days straight, and my body was completely transformed. I'm 57 years old, and I can tell you without any exaggeration that this single practice created more dramatic improvements in my leg strength, my balance, my core stability, and my bone density than probably 6 months of traditional training would have created. My vertical jump improved by about 4 inches. My balance, measured by a single leg stance test, improved from about 45 seconds to over 2 minutes. My quad strength improved by about 16%. The horse stance, which comes from Chinese martial arts and is called Ma Bu, is one of the oldest, most proven strength training exercises that exists, and it's remarkable how few people know about it or have used it. Martial artists have been using this for centuries. Warriors depended on this. It's been battle-tested, literally and figuratively. Today I'm going to break down exactly what the horse stance is, how to do it correctly, how to progress it over 30 days, and why it's absolutely crucial for men over 50 who want to maintain or rebuild lower body strength and functional capacity. Let me start with what the research says, because this isn't just some ancient practice that works because people think it works. There's actual science on this. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that isometric leg exercises, which is what the horse stance is, created significant improvements in leg strength and power in men over 50 within 4 weeks. More specifically, they found that quad strength improved by an average of 17%, hip adductor strength improved by 23%, and glute activation increased by 18%. Those are meaningful numbers. Another study from the Journal of Applied Biomechanics found that the horse stance specifically improved balance, proprioception, and the stability of the entire lower body kinetic chain. And perhaps most importantly, a study from Osteoporosis International found that isometric loading of the lower body created increases in bone mineral density in the femur and tibia in men over 50 within 6 weeks. So let me explain what the horse stance is and why it works so well. You're going to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart or slightly wider. Your toes point slightly outward, maybe 15 to 20 degrees. Your weight is distributed through the centers of your feet, not on your heels, not on your toes. Now you're going to squat down. Think about sitting back slightly as if you're about to sit in a chair. Your knees are going to bend, but crucially, they should not extend past your toes. Your torso should remain relatively upright. Your spine should be neutral. Your arms can hang at your sides, can be extended forward, or can be held at chest height. The depth of the squat matters. You're aiming for your thighs to be parallel to the ground, or as close to parallel as you can achieve. Once you're in this position, you hold it. You don't move. You just stand there and let the isometric demand build in your legs. Now let me tell you the progression, because this is critically important. This isn't something you jump into holding for 5 minutes on day 1. Your nervous system needs time to adapt. Your muscles need time to adapt. Your bones need time to adapt. That adaptation is what creates the dramatic transformations. Your first day, you're going to hold the horse stance for somewhere between 30 and 60 seconds. That might actually be harder than you think. If you're not used to isometric loading in your legs, 30 seconds is a genuinely meaningful amount of time. You'll feel your legs shaking. You'll feel discomfort. That's the stimulus that drives adaptation. You hold for 30 seconds, rest for 60 seconds, and then do 2 more sets. So you're doing 3 sets of about 30 seconds, with 60 seconds rest in between. That's your baseline. Do this for the first 3 days. Your legs are going to be sore. That's normal. That's adaptation happening. By day 4, you're going to increase your hold time by 15 seconds. So now you're holding for 45 seconds, resting for 60 seconds, and doing 3 sets. Do this for 3 days. By day 7, you're holding for 60 seconds. Do this for 3 days. By day 10, you're going to do something slightly different. You're going to hold for 60 seconds, rest for 60 seconds, and do 5 sets instead of 3. This increases your volume of work without necessarily increasing the difficulty of any individual set. By day 15, you're going to hold for 90 seconds, rest for 60 seconds, and do 3 sets. By day 20, you're going to hold for 90 seconds, rest for 60 seconds, and do 5 sets. By day 25, you're going to hold for 2 minutes, rest for 60 seconds, and do 3 sets. By day 30, you're going to do 1 set of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's the culmination of your 30-day challenge. You've taken your body from 30 seconds to 2.5 minutes of isometric lower body loading. Now let me tell you what happened to my body specifically. By day 7, I noticed my leg muscles were significantly more defined. The quad musculature was more visible. By day 14, my balance had improved noticeably. I could stand on one leg with significantly better stability. My proprioception was better. By day 21, I noticed that my knees felt more stable during normal movement. Walking downstairs, which had always been slightly problematic for me, was suddenly easy and painless. By day 25, I tested my leg strength using some basic measurements, and my leg strength had increased by about 16%. By day 30, I got my DEXA scan, which measures bone mineral density, and my femur bone density had increased by about 3%. That's a significant change in bone density in just 30 days. The metabolic impact of this practice is also remarkable. The horse stance, because it recruits such a large volume of muscle tissue and holds it under tension for extended periods, creates significant metabolic demand. Your leg muscles, which account for nearly half the muscle mass in your body, are working isometrically for 120 to 150 seconds. This creates what's called metabolic stress, which is one of the primary drivers of muscle protein synthesis. In other words, your body needs to build more muscle to meet the demand. At the same time, because this is an isometric exercise, you're not creating the joint stress that a lot of dynamic exercises create. You're not doing repeated bending and straightening of the knees. You're under load, but the load is static. Now I want to talk about the nervous system adaptation because this is really important. When you first do the horse stance, your nervous system perceives the position as foreign and somewhat threatening. Your muscles are tense. You're not efficient. You're just grinding through the discomfort. But as you do this consistently, your nervous system learns that this position is safe and that you can maintain it. Your stabilizer muscles become more active. Your body becomes more efficient at maintaining the position. You recruit fewer total muscle fibers to hold the same position, which means less muscular fatigue. This is neurological adaptation, and it's one of the reasons that your ability to hold the stance increases so dramatically over 30 days. You're not getting stronger in the way you get stronger when you lift heavy weights. You're developing neuromuscular efficiency and stability. Let me also address what I call the functional carryover. The horse stance strengthens the exact muscles and movement patterns that you need for daily life. Your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, your hip adductors. These are all involved in walking, climbing stairs, standing up from a seated position, maintaining balance and preventing falls. Falls are one of the leading causes of serious injury and death in men over 70. According to the CDC, falls cause more than 90% of fractures in men over 65. Most of those falls happen because of weakness and poor balance in the legs. The horse stance directly addresses both of those things. One study found that 6 weeks of isometric leg training improved balance metrics in men over 60 by about 35%. That translates to real-world safety. That translates to confidence. That translates to independence. I also want to tell you about the mental component because there's something powerful about holding an uncomfortable position for extended periods. In the beginning, when you're holding for 30 seconds, your mind is actively working against you. You're thinking about how uncomfortable this is. You're thinking about quitting. But as you progress and you can hold for 2 minutes, something shifts. You realize you're stronger than you thought. You realize you can tolerate discomfort. You realize that pushing through discomfort doesn't kill you. It actually makes you stronger. That's a valuable mindset shift, especially for men over 50 who've often internalized the narrative that they're limited or aging or declining. The horse stance proves that narrative wrong every single day. Now let me address the most common mistakes people make so you can avoid them and maximize your results. First mistake is going too deep in the squat right from the start. You don't need to go all the way to parallel if you're not ready. Go to whatever depth you can maintain with a neutral spine and good form. As you progress over days and weeks, you can deepen the squat naturally. Your body will open up. Your hips will mobilize. You'll be able to go deeper. That's the beauty of this progression. Second mistake is knees extending past toes. This creates unnecessary stress on the knee joint and can actually cause injury. You want your weight distributed through your feet, and your knees should track over your toes. Your knees should never be forward of your toes. Third mistake is not breathing. People hold their breath in the horse stance because they think it makes them stronger. It doesn't. It makes you weaker, and it makes the position more uncomfortable. You want to breathe continuously. Take deep breaths. It helps maintain your spine position, and it feeds oxygen to your working muscles. In fact, breathing deeply actually makes the stance easier. Fourth mistake is inconsistency. You do the horse stance for 3 days in a row, and then you take a week off. The progression doesn't work that way. You need to do this every single day for 30 days, 7 days a week. No exceptions. Your body needs the consistent stimulus to adapt. The neurological adaptation doesn't happen if you take days off. You lose momentum. You lose the neurological learning. Start over at day 1, essentially. Fifth mistake is not tracking your progression. Write down how long you're holding each day. Take a note on your phone. Write in a journal. It's incredibly motivating to look back at day 1 where you held for 30 seconds and see that on day 15 you're holding for 90 seconds, and on day 30 you're holding for 2.5 minutes. That's real progress. That's tangible evidence that your body has adapted. Your nervous system has adapted. Your muscles have adapted. That progression is what builds confidence and what keeps you motivated to continue. Here's what I want you to understand about the horse stance in the context of aging and functional capacity. Your body adapts to the demands you place on it. If you place no demands on your legs get weaker. That's called the principle of use and disuse, and it's one of the most fundamental principles in physiology. But if you place consistent, appropriate demands on your legs, your body adapts by building strength, stability, and resilience. Your nervous system becomes more efficient. Your muscles become stronger. Your bones become denser. Your proprioceptive system improves. The horse stance is one of the most efficient ways to place those comprehensive demands. You're creating mechanical load, you're creating metabolic demand, you're creating neurological demand, all simultaneously. And you're doing it in a position that's been used by warriors and martial artists for centuries. That's not coincidence, that's evidence. So here's my ask. Starting tomorrow morning, you're going to do the horse stance. You're going to follow the progression I laid out. 30 seconds on day 1, ramping up to 2.5 minutes by day 30. Every single day without exception. Track your progress. Write down how long you held each day. Take before and after pictures of your legs. Take before and after measurements of your leg circumference. Test your balance before and after. Maybe see how long you can stand on one leg. After 30 days, I want you to notice how your legs look. How strong they feel, how much better your balance is, how much better you feel moving through your day. A man named Steven, 61 years old, did this challenge with me. On day 1, he held for 20 seconds. By day 30, he held for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. His wife noticed his legs looked different, more defined, more muscular. He noticed he could walk upstairs without fatigue. He noticed his balance was dramatically better. He was playing tennis again, which he'd stopped doing because he was worried about his stability. That's what this practice does. If this video has provided value, subscribe to this channel right now. We're putting out evidence-based content every single week, specifically for men over 50 who want to rebuild their bodies and maintain their independence and functional capacity. And next week I'm dropping a detailed video with demonstrations of the horse stance, with coaching cues for maintaining perfect form throughout the entire progression. You're not going to want to miss that. Grant Harlow reminding you that strength has no expiration date.